He's a bad guy. When I say he's a bad guy, he's a bad guy. I get it.
Yeah,
we agree.
Yeah, we agree.
He's a bad hombre, as you say.
That's right.
Right now, they're looking for a leaker.
Yeah.
So does Congress, how does this work? Because now they're looking at Congress. I thought at first it was a Pentagon guy, but now they're saying it could have been a member of Congress. Do they go into a computer and access it? Like, how does this work?
You get the report. You get the initial assessment, members of Congress do, on certain committees. We can rule me out as the leaker.
Crossing you off the list, Lindsey.
I am not pushing the narrative. This was not a very good strike.
Right.
This was obliteration by the definition in the dictionary. And if you were on the ground...
No, but just explain to the audience for us how this works. The congressmen go into this little place.
Yeah, we get information, certain committees do, about the initial Defense Intelligence Agency assessment. Somebody leaked that assessment to suggest that the operation was not what Trump said it was. They have a political motivation. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure this out.
Right.
It's somebody who wants to undercut Trump. Is that a member of Congress? It could be. I don't care what your title is. If you're leaking classified information, you should go to jail.
Okay, so if it's a member of Congress, they're looking at hard time. All right, Lindsey Graham, we're crossing you off the suspect list.
I didn't do it.
Thank you so much.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. If you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Brother, Lindsey Graham. What y'all think of Lindsey Graham? Let me know. Put a popsicle in his butt. I'm just saying. All right, sir. I think you're a little constipated, sir. I think you're a little constipated. Woo! Oh, man. God bless them beautiful patriots around the world, man. I hope y'all have had a great week, getting ready for a great weekend. Spend time with your loved ones. Take some time out for yourself, man. You know, we live in a very, very fast time travel, y'all. We living in some corrupt, dark times. We don't know what to expect next. It's worth living, I tell you. We're living in the biggest history yet. And it is worth living because President Trump is our president, man. And we are rooting for America. We are so back. Common sense is back, you know. And we stand behind President Trump's decision that he'll make the right decision, you know, and keep our best interests in heart. And we send our prayers to Trump and this administration, you know, peace through strength. President Trump now being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. He should have had it multiple times. But somebody got to go to jail. I'm ready to see handcuffs, accountability. Somebody got to go to jail, especially with this whole leaked intel, you know. And now you see CNN's, MSNBC, many people, networks are backtracking big time, you know, as they air that Trump was right, that the strikes were effective, you know. Yeah. You just can't make this up, you guys. You just can't. And day before yesterday, Pete Hegseth, as you know, they went to the summit. They said this right here. Pull this up.
Pete, do you have something to say about that? Well, Mr. President, when you talk to the people who built the bombs, understand what those bombs can do, and deliver those bombs, they landed precisely where they were supposed to. So it's a flawless mission.
Flawless.
Right down where we knew they needed to enter. And given the 30,000 pounds of explosives and capability of those munitions, it was devastating underneath Fordo. And the amount of munitions, 6 per location, any assessment that tells you it was something otherwise is speculating with other motives. And we know that because when you actually look at the report by the
treason, people ought to be put in jail. Yeah, handcuffs, arrest. Put your hands behind your back. Shut down these networks. I tell you, they ought to lose their license and ought to be shut down. The fake news media, the mainstream media, the enemy of the people. Can't never get it right. They spin everything. They don't care for the truth. They don't. I tell you, man, false, fake news, hatred, bias, and it's just the big bad orange man dictated his starting. Threat to democracy. He should have got congressional approval. I tell you, boy. I tell you.
By the way, it was a top secret report. It was preliminary. It was low confidence. All right, so this isn't, you make assessments based on what you know. They
As
don't.
I said, it could be very devastating, very serious.
Moderate
in
to
that
severe,
report.
and we believe far more likely severe and obliterated.
Is there
So
a leak
this is a political
investigation?
motive here.
Is there a leak investigation?
Of course, we're doing a leak investigation with the FBI right now because this information is for internal purposes, battle damage assessments, and CNN and others are trying to spin it to make the president look bad when this was an overwhelming success.
Pete, you have something to say about it?
Yes, indeed, man. Oh, yes. I want to show a clip of them backtracking. This one right here.
What we now know from that
On disgraceful fake news CNN.
what we now know from that briefing, first time we know it, is that as it was designed, as these massive ordnance penetrators with significant computer software engineering went directly down to those 3 ventilator shafts, specifically as designed. And until you actually do it, you never know if it's going to work. It worked. It seems to have worked flawlessly. That is very important information. He also pointed out some things we take for granted. A Patriot interceptor is traveling at 3,000 miles an hour, about Mach 4, to hit a ballistic missile. Difficult. We take for granted how this stuff all works. I thought that was very important to lay out. So as I come out of this briefing, I now know BDA level 2, as I mentioned. Level 1, first 24 hours, you're looking at imagery. Level 2, did the ordnance work? Did everything go as we had wanted? The answer now is yes. And we're now in the phase of level 3, collecting all sources of information and then putting that together with nuclear experts to determine if they have these pieces and parts here, could they reconstitute them? With some political analysts to say, would the Iranians do that? What would be the restraints? To then have a comprehensive assessment of where we are. With the objective being, Iran can never have a nuclear weapon and its enrichment program has to be completely destroyed. I think from what I've seen, the 20,000 centrifuges, you had about 17,000 in Natanz, about 3,000 in Fordo, they are all completely destroyed. I am very confident those centrifuges are gone. The Israelis destroyed the centrifuge manufacturing production facilities that we know of. Isfahan, which is the conversion facility, key part of the fuel.
Look at they act like they don't want to hear this. Fake news CNN. They ought to shut this crap down.
Cycle also appears to have been destroyed. So if you add it up from what we're seeing, massive catastrophic setback for Iran's program. The term of art, obliterated, destroyed, I kind of step out of that. This is an analytical process. It's important for the professionals now in the intelligence community to be able to do their work without political pressure and come out with their assessments. And we'll know soon enough. There's a lot of work going on here from U.S. intelligence agencies, from Mossad and the Israelis, from other partners. But I thought that briefing was important. We now know that operation that was developed over multiple administrations worked exactly as it was designed. So I didn't know that. I couldn't have confirmed that 24 hours ago. I now know those 3 ventilators, they went down there and it worked. That's new. And that means probably Fordo is rendered inoperable for the foreseeable future, probably forever.
Woo! Yeah, buddy. And this because I didn't read it out at the beginning of the show, but Trump says Democrats are the ones who leaked the information on the perfect flight to the nuclear sites in Iran. They should be prosecuted.
What we now
And you just can't make this up, man.
For this leaker, is it here today? I know you're looking for this leaker. Is it your belief? I know you said earlier you're not sure if it's on Capitol Hill or at the Pentagon, but is it your belief that it might be in Capitol Hill? And how confident are you that you'll find this leaker?
Well, I'm not personally looking for the leaker. The FBI is looking for the leaker, so you'll have to ask them in the Department of Justice in terms of this investigation. But leaking top secret classified intelligence is a crime, and people need to be held accountable for that crime.
Put your hands behind your back. We got to find you and got to walk you out.
just ask you about how you're going to be limiting intel to Congress? What would you say to lawmakers who say they have oversight privileges, they need this information?
This administration wants to ensure that classified intelligence is not ending up in irresponsible hands, and that people who have the privilege of viewing this top secret classified information are being responsible with it. And unfortunately, clearly, someone who had their hands on this, and it was a very few people, few number of people in our government who saw this report, that person was irresponsible with it, and we need to get to the bottom of it, and we need to strengthen that process to protect our national security and protect the American public. Mary Margaret.
It says Trump's ready to sue New York Times and CNN over their fake Iran strike stories. They ran illegal leaks and cherry-picked intel for days to smear him. Time to make these liars pay. Just like CBS and 60 Minutes. Do it, Mr. President. You know, it says this is a classic D-State tactic. Leak information to push a narrative. They want to undermine the president. So.
Another thing I want to talk about, we're talking about with Tommy Tuberville, Senator Tuberville. When will people wake up to the fact that this bombing mission over Iran was an enormous success? But I want to go back to the leaker from the national security, defense security. That's a treasonous action. It's got to violate. You're the lawyer. It's got to violate some laws. They've got to find the person and make an example of that.
You're absolutely right. They need to. This is a classic deep state type of a tactic, which is to use parts of information from classified reports that give the information that you want to get across. It's not the total complete picture. Only the President of the United States has the total and complete picture. And under our Constitution, he's vested with the executive power. He's the one who gets to make these decisions, not some deep state bureaucrat who's leaking things maybe to someone on the Hill. Maybe they have some buddies in the press. They're sharing information to advance a narrative that they want to undermine the President of the United States.
I mean, I hope they find him, and I hope they bust him. Defense Intelligence Agency, do it again. That's what the acronym for that is. Those guys can't get the story right.
Man, can't get it right. They just won't get it right, you know?
In the entire world, before President Trump took this decisive action on Saturday night to obliterate their nuclear capabilities. The contrast in leadership could not be more clear. Barack Obama and Joe Biden sent pallets of cash, American taxpayer dollars, in a failed attempt to buy the Iranian regime's compliance with a weak and ineffective deal. President Trump sent a fleet of American warplanes to destroy Iran's ability to produce a nuclear weapon. The United States and the entire world are safer because of this president's decisiveness.
I know some people really don't even, some people still to this day don't know what them Democrats really did. What they really did. Some people are still clueless and don't know how corrupt it, man. But it's all coming out. It's all coming out. And I'm ready to see handcuffs. Somebody thrown in jail. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. But they even highlighted, it says that, and Trump says the Democrats are the ones who leaked the information. I want to see a Democrat thrown in handcuffs, arrested, jail time. Yeah. Let me know what y'all think of this, man. I love y'all. God bless you all and your family. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love, family.